Hey guys, welcome to this unboxing video. We'll be opening up this here box from Wazika. It is of course a knife kit plus knife block, and it is the Star Sky edition, which means they have a nice little pattern on them. But as we go through this video, I'm going to be throwing in footage of me using these knives in action, but for now, I'm just doing a first impression unboxing. So before we actually open the box, I want to just take a moment to call out the box itself. And it might sound crazy, but it's really important, especially if you're giving this as a gift to someone. I don't know how many times I've bought something off Amazon. It just came in a brown box and it just said the object on it. That's it. That does not exude quality. It doesn't make the giftee feel like they've gotten something special. So when you get a box like this that has like this great design all the way around it, it's got this like nice silky sheen to it. It feels pretty nice. For something I'm really just gonna throw away, the fact they've spent time on this really makes it feel like a premium product, and that's exactly what you want to get someone as a gift for Christmas or put it on your wedding registry, whatever. Just thought I'd call that out. So let's dig into it and see what we got. Again, the design just keeps going. I love what they've done with this. So surprisingly, there's a bit of empty space, at least in this model. We can see there is some care information, as well as warranty stuff. Nice to have, easy to throw in one of your junk drawers, keep handy. I can already feel this is the knife box. We'll get into that. And this big guy here must be the knife block. Yeah, I can tell by the heft and the size. So let's go ahead and open this first. So first thing I'm noticing is the nice little pattern here, which matches the thumb grip on all the knives. That really ties it together. I think that's really cool. And you'll also notice there's two blade sharpeners here. They are different, so there's a kind of a rough touch-up and then like a fine finish. So the idea is you'd run it through one of them and then the other, and you'd have a perfectly sharp knife to slice things like tomatoes, for example, without having to tear through them. You know, we've probably all been there before. On the front, we of course see all the holes for your, I guess, primary knives, and then on the bottom here for the steak knives. So a place for everything in this kit. On the bottom, we have these little feet here. These are not super rubbery, but they are kind of rubbery, which is nice. That's going to prevent it from sliding around. So what more there is there to it? You know, it's a knife block. It looks great, but we're here for the knives. So let's open that up now. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. Interesting. I've never seen knives packaged this way, but then again, I've not bought too many knives. So let's start off with not actually a knife, but the kitchen shears. Ooh, I like the sound of that. That's solid. I like that. And they of course have this little grip in here, which comes in handy sometimes if you need to get like a lid off something or a cork out. Nice to have that utility right there. These do feel very solid. The handle is plastic, but you can tell that these shears go pretty deep in here. I wouldn't be surprised if they went all the way around, because that feels pretty robust and a very good cut. You can see camera's gonna have a hard time showing this, but the way to make a good shear is that you make sure that the blade is slightly curved, so it's always applying pressure. I'll see if I can get some paper here. And so like a bad scissors would like cut this kind of jagged, but with that, ooh, very smooth. So the shears are down. Let's see what we got next. And this, I believe, is the paring knife or perhaps the utility knife. I'm not totally sure. And wow, these feel pretty great. Wow, I love the design of these. And this is one of the reasons I got this, is because there's no like 90-degree corners on these. So that's important, because when you're cleaning these blades, or any knife really, there's always like gunk that like gets up near the blade handle and you gotta like get it out of there, and that's really annoying. But this is just smooth, one piece all the way around. Fits really comfortable in my hand. Wow, that feels awesome. And this is actually the paring knife, by the way. Very nice. So we're going to go ahead and put that in what is probably the small spot in the block. Let's carry on, shall we? All right, we got a steak knife. Again, same nice chrome, all body, stainless steel, NSF certified blade. Really nice form-fitting grip. Man, let me show you what I use currently for steak knives, just as a comparison. And we'll even take the tip off. Look at how sad these other blades are. They're just so different in size and shape, and these just so flimsy. These guys, ooh, that's good. Love it. Love the steak knives. Can't wait to use them. Hopefully I get some footage of me cutting into steaks with those, because I know those are going to do really well. Let's move this guy away, because I never want to see those ever again. All right, so there will be a fair number of steak knives in here, which we're going through. They're all very nice. You can see even the logo and the grip and everything. None of these are scratched up or damaged in any way. Nicely polished and etched. You know, a lot of times you'll see blades that are kind of beaten up all over the place. Even big name brand blades I've purchased before have those problems. But these don't. So what's in here? This one looks like another smaller blade. Nope, this is the utility knife. So a good general purpose blade. Not really for chopping, but wow, this feels a bit more solid actually. Yep, and you can see the spine on that is a bit thicker, so a little more robust. It's going to be useful in harder applications than some of the other knives we've shown so far. Wow, that is just feels good in the hand. I can't wait to use these. Yeah, anyway, for now, let's slide that in the block. This is the Santoku, and wow, am I blown away, guys. This is the nicest blade I've ever owned, and I haven't even opened up the other ones. I'm super excited to see these. Wow, I do a lot of chopping with my current Santoku or Santoku-like blade, and this feels amazing. The grip is a little bigger on this because they fully expect you to really grip this thing down as you're chopping onions or whatever else you're doing with this thing. But wow, 7-inch Santoku knife, a beautiful heft to it, really good weight, very robust. You can see the spine of that thing. Wow, love it. Cannot wait to use that. I'm super excited to have that. So before we move on to that, I actually want to show my current blade. I'm going to make sure the brand's not included, but this was a very expensive knife, almost $100. And you can see it's nice and shiny, kind of dirty, but the size comparison between those, and you know, size isn't everything, but when you're chopping pretty large vegetables, this is just not going to cut it. A 7-inch knife going to do a much better job. I'm happy to get rid of this guy. All right, let's continue going through this. I'm guessing this is bread knife. Oh no, this is actually the slicing knife. So I've never actually owned a slicing knife. I don't know what utility I would necessarily get out of it, but it certainly does feel good in the hands. It is a very lengthy blade. This is 8 inches, so you've got plenty of room to work with. And much like the Santoku knife, very good heft to it. So these primary knives, as opposed to the steak knives, have a lot more weight to them even. So yeah, we'll see what we can slice up with this, but for now, put it in the block. All right, now this has got to be the bread knife, right? There we go. I love a good bread knife. This looks absolutely perfect size for me. This is an 8-inch bread knife. I don't make bread that's going to be bigger than that for slicing, and it doesn't look too big for something like an English muffin. It's got this beautiful serrated edge, very serrated on the edge there. You can see it's a pretty aggressive pattern. That's just going to tear through bread like nothing. Good weight to it, a good balance, as they might say, but actually it is quite balanced. Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to use it, guys. All right, now the knife that I'll probably be using the most of, and maybe the one you've all been waiting for, the chef's knife, upside down. Wow, beautiful. That is probably the biggest in the set, and it actually does feel heavier than the other knives. That is just a beautiful curve on that thing too. That's gonna make this really nice to rock. I chop a lot of small fruits and vegetables, so this is gonna make that a pretty breezy process, but wow, I'm really excited to use these. So let's throw in some footage of me chopping stuff. Let's go. All right, so for my first test, I have a grocery store tomato, and that's important to mention, not a farmer's market or a homegrown one, because these always tend to have much thicker skins, which means if your blade isn't sharp, you're not gonna get a clean cut. You could even end up injuring yourself. So I think what I'm gonna use here is probably the chef knife. I wouldn't feel bad using the Santoku if I was in a hurry or something. I just feel like a chef knife would probably be what I'd grab. So let's go ahead and do that. And please forgive my poor knife skills. I've never worked in a restaurant. I am a home cook. So, wow, I didn't even apply pressure. That was okay, I'm gonna, hold up. I was planning on like slicing through it. I set the knife on it and it cut through it. Look at that, guys. Look, I'm not even gonna, look at that slice. Look how I'm holding the blade. I'm holding it with 2 fingers. This is impressive. I'm letting the weight of the blade cut. Wow. That is so impressive. Why have I not bought nice knives sooner? I'm going to try a really thin slice. If I can aim it upright. Oh, wow. That is incredible, guys. Beautiful slices. I am so impressed by this blade. Simply being able to just cut through that like butter. And I think this is probably because these blades have a more aggressive angle on them. But thanks to their composition, they're less prone to dulling. So this tomato was a little old, a little past my liking, but I don't mind mutilating it for you guys. Wow, really impressive.